So if you just had your ACL surgery, there's a good chance that you're going to be working on your extension and your flexion in your knee. Here's some exercises that I use myself and I use with my clients to help get their extension and flexion back post ACL surgery. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Oisin Quinn. I'm an S&C coach and a GAA player. Unfortunately, I've tore my ACL twice now, but I've came back from it and I'm playing. And now what I get to do is I train athletes to come back from ACL injuries bigger and better than what they were before. So here's a good exercise to get your extension back, and it's one that I use with my clients all the time, and it's a weighted extension. So if you're really struggling to get that last wee bit out, this is like a kind of aggressive way to nearly get it out. So granted, this kind of looks a wee bit dodgy because you got something hanging off your knee, but it is a really good exercise because it's actually forcing your knee down, and sometimes whenever you're doing extension work, you just can't get that last wee bit of extension out, but I always find this helps get it. So the way I have this set up, I've got a kettlebell looped through, and then I put either bit of the band across the top of my knee. Get yourself sitting across the bench and make sure the knee or the kettlebell isn't hitting the ground there, and it's just going to hang. Do this anywhere for up to 2 minutes at a time. This could be an easy one you can even do like when you're at the house. So like if you're sitting watching TV, put your foot up on the sofa and just get something weighted across it, and it's an easy one you can do all the time. The wee piece of advice I would give you on this is ease yourself into it. So whenever you're going to do this for the first time, don't lump on like a 20 kilo on it. Start really light and build up. If you just start throwing weights down on it, it's really heavy. It might not be the best thing for your knees. So you just approach with caution and use a bit of common sense when you're doing it. So next exercise up for extension is called a terminal knee extension, or you sometimes hear it called a TKE. So what you're going to need, you get a band, tie it around your rack, and then the band goes around the back of your knee. So this being the side that they've just had surgery on, all you're going to do, you're keeping this other leg dead straight and then let that knee bend, and then you're pulling back into extension as far as you can go. The more you pull in, the more resistance you're going to get. So the great thing about this is we're really actively trying to get more extension because we're working against the band, but then also we're getting the quad to work too. And the more we can get that quad activating, the better that's going to help your extension and the better it's going to help your overall rehab. And then the other good thing with this is you can actually just turn around at the end of your set, keep the band in the same spot, and then it's going to be kind of like that weighted extension that we talked about earlier. It's actually pulling my knee back into extension so I can start to rep again in it, but now I've got the help of the band pulling me back. Great one to do in your rehab, and one I have all my clients and myself doing whenever I was going through it. So try that out as well. So here's a superset that I would do for extension with clients as soon as they have their ACL surgery. I think it's brilliant, and it's a good one even just to do as a warm-up, even as you go on through your ACL rehab. So first one, get like a gym pad, or you could even just use a towel. Put it under your knee, and all you're going to try and do is squeeze down as hard as you can on it. So again, we're working on that extension, but we're also working on a bit of quad activation as well. I would do this for high reps, so anywhere from maybe 20 to 25 reps. And then what I would superset this with would be an extension. So get a foam roller under the knee, and then all you're going to do is just lift the leg up and straighten it as much as you can. This one's going to be tough probably for you straight after surgery, particularly if you've had a patella graft. But a great one to work on, and then the more we do this, the more we can eventually progress into doing the leg extension machine, which I think is probably one of the best exercises you can do. Again, 20, 25 reps, and over time, you just want to see yourself being able to get that leg fully straightened out as much as you can. Okay, so that was extension. Now we're going to work on flexion, so how well we can bend the knee. So the one I always like to get people doing is using sliders. So all we're going to do is kind of just like a scissor motion, so in and out with the legs here. What I want to try and do is I want to try and bring my heel in as close as I can to my hips on each rep. And again, I would just start repping this out for like upwards of maybe 20 reps at a time. But again, each time trying to pull that wee bit more back in. What you can also do once you get to like that end range and once you get to the end of your set, to try and get a wee bit more out of it, if you put like a towel or a band on, you can start to just pull a wee tiny bit more in and see if you can get an extra couple inches out of it. You kind of have to listen to your body here and know whenever you're going too far on it. But like I find you can always get a wee bit more room out of it. And the more you can do and the more you can push yourself through, the easier it gets long term. If you find that you don't have wee sliders like this in your gym, you could just go in your socks. If you have like a hallway on the floor, you could use that as well, which works really well. Again, one I would just do all the time. If you can do that every day, just get repping it out. It's really going to help loosen out the knee and get the flexion back. Okay, last one for flexion that you can try. So get yourself close to a wall, or you can use like a squat rack if you want, like I am here. Get your hips as close as you can to the wall. Start with that ACL surgery side up like this, and then you're going to bring it down as far as you can until you start to feel the resistance. So say that's where I'm starting to feel the resistance and I can't push by. I'm going to put the other leg on top just to act as kind of like a weight and help push down to see if I can get an extra couple inches of flexion out of it. And generally what you find is that you will get a bit extra out of it. And then push up, try and straighten it out again and loosen it. Back down, see if you can beat that original distance you got there. If not, a wee bit more again on it. So it kind of follows the theme that we've been chatting about throughout most of these videos, in that you can start to like be a wee bit more aggressive with some of these exercises by either just weighting them or using a bit more assistance, and it helps just get a couple of extra inches out of it. The key thing with all this though is that you got to listen to your body, and if you got to know that if you're pushing into too much pain, then you're probably going too far. It's always good, like if you're working with a coach or a physio, to help you through that as well. But listen to your body and don't push yourself through too much pain. But those are my go-to ones for flexion extension. So try them out and let me know how they go for you. So if you're watching these videos, there's a good chance that you probably need help with your ACL rehab. I get to train ACL athletes all over the world with my online ACL program. So if you want to find out some more, all you got to do is click the link below and you can set up a free call with me to find out more about the program.